So I've been on a road trip this past weekend with some of my friends from university. Some of the same friends that are in the Residence T video. Yeah, three of my friends and I, who live closer together, drove up to see one of our other friends who lives about 4.5 hours away from here. And it was very fun. It was a nice trip. It was the first time that I actually drove on a road trip, like, longer than an hour or so. Because usually if I go on road trips, actually I think this is the first road trip I was on that didn't have any of my family members on it. Because usually it's one of my sisters or my parents that are driving. But yeah, so I got to drive, and I recently also got my full license instead of just my N license, which is very exciting, and that's why I was able to drive everyone up. I actually got sorry, that was the table. I actually got my full license because I got a speeding ticket. But in my defense, it was not like a crazy speeding ticket. I wasn't like speeding crazy speeds. It's just I was going, honestly, probably the same speed as a lot of speeds, no. The same speed that a lot of other cars go on that road, but there just happened to be a cop there, and he was like, that's not 50, and I was like, yeah, I know, and he's like, here's a ticket, and I was like, okay, because I can't really argue with that, but it was kind of sad, because so many cars on that road, like, most cars don't go exactly 50, some of them do, but most cars go above 50, and especially on that road, it's like a longer road, it's kind of wider, a bigger stretch, and so a lot of cars go a little faster. I just happened to be the one that got pulled over, which I am not condoning speeding. Please do not speed. That is not safe. I should have been going a little bit of a better speed. I know that. It's just unfortunate because now I have to pay $200 and, yep. But the reason I got my full license, one, because I needed to get it at some point anyway, but I talked to the insurance agency, whatever, some lady from there, and she was like, oh, you have a speeding ticket. You should get your full license as soon as you can, because it's like they allow more lenience on your record, I guess, if you're a full license versus if you're just an N driver, just a new driver. So I was like, okay. And I actually went and got it literally the next day, which is kind of crazy because most of the appointments are only letting you book like in November or December, because it's very booked up, very crazy, all year long. They're always booked up far in advance. 6 o'clock. I was off at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I was about to go to my car and leave and go home. And all of a sudden, I started feeling really strange. Like, it just really weird. It felt like I was tripping out. Like, everything I was doing, everything around me seemed very laggy. Like, it was lagging in real life. I got way more disassociated than I am normally, and my hearing started to go a little bit. So everything was a lot quieter, and I started getting like ringing in my ears, and just like a whole bunch of stuff started happening, and I felt so weird. I was very lightheaded, very dizzy, and I was like, oh no, what is going on? I need to get home. Like, is this from the new meds? Probably. So I get in my car because I'm like, I need to go home, and I try to back up, and the minute I turn my head to back up and start backing up a second, I pause because I'm like, I realized I cannot drive in this condition. Like, there is no way I'm getting home safely if I'm driving in this condition. And so I just pulled back in, I parked, I went back into my work, and they were like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I feel weird. And so I called my mom, and she ended up having to pick me up, and I had to leave my car at work, and I got home, and I was just feeling so out of it, so weird. I almost felt like high in a certain way, but not like high as in like fun time, more like high as in the very laggy, very disoriented, very a little bit like sorry, I forgot the word. Very much like I was gonna faint, but also I've never fainted, so I don't know what that feels like, but I was very just rocky and not doing well. And it ended up going away like a couple hours later, maybe by 9 or 10 o'clock. I was feeling pretty much back to normal. Still a little weird, but pretty much back to normal. And I was like, what is going on with me? Like, what are these meds? And if this is gonna happen tomorrow, I can't take these meds again because I have work tomorrow, and it's like a 45-minute drive away from here because I'm working 2 jobs right now. So if I was gonna work at my next job, my other job, the next day, and I was like, I can't work. I can't drive there for 45 minutes and work if I feel like this tomorrow. So I decided to call this, like, I think it was called HealthLink BC, because I'm in the west coast of Canada. Anyway, it's like this call thing that you can call from anywhere in BC and ask them about your health and have questions, whatever. And I stayed on the call for 30 or 40 minutes, just waiting on hold until someone could talk to me. And then I spent another like 45 minutes talking to people and trying to figure out like what's going on, and I told them everything, and I talked to a nurse and a pharmacist, and both of them literally just told me what I read on the internet, and I was like, well, that was a waste of an hour and a half, but like, it was better safe to be sorry. No, it was better to be safe rather than sorry. Although it didn't really help at all, but I was like, okay. So the next day I emailed my psychiatrist, and she didn't get back to me until a couple days later anyway, for the road trip. And so I was like really stressed out. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't have this. I'm about to drive like 4.5 hours. I can't have this happening. It was a little stressful, but you know, nothing deadly. Hopefully nothing serious. Probably not, but it was just some sort of not great reaction to the medication. And you know, some of those side effects, I was reading all the side effects of the new medication, and I had multiple side effects from like most common, like medium common, and I had a couple side effects from like the rare section, but nothing dangerous, I don't think. Like, I'm fine now, so obviously didn't kill me. But search up on Google ASMR video ideas, it says tapping, whispering, like random things like that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but like, give me an actual idea. I know all of those things, like, it's not, sorry, I was almost gonna start talking, don't want to start talking, but it's not like I don't know those things already, right? I just want like an actual themed video idea. But honestly,